Okay, welcome to Wheelie Good. We're going to teach you how to make a wheel in Solidworks. So open Solidworks. If you've forgotten, it is this icon, look, Solidworks 2023, or whatever year it happens to be at the moment. When it opens, hopefully it will look like this, sorry, with this menu. If it doesn't, just go to File, New, and click on Part, okay? So choose a part, click OK, wait for the program to load. Okay, when it has loaded, go down here and check that it's set to mmgs, millimeters, meters, grams, second. If it's on anything else, please change it to mmgs. Very important, otherwise everything you make will be the incorrect size. We're going to be 3D printing these wheels at some point, and obviously if you get the size wrong from the offset, you won't be able to print it because it will come out the size of a house. Anyway, so when this is loaded, as always, good practice with SolidWorks, let's save it. So go File, Save As, just click Yes, that's fine. Now, I'm assuming you've already at some point signed into OneDrive on your computer and that your little cloud has not got a grey line through it, and that at some point in a previous PKL lesson, you will have your OneDrive over here, look, and you'll have a DET SolidWorks folder somewhere. So put it in there. I'm going to call it Wheel. Okay, great. Right, all drawings start with a sketch, so make sure you're on the sketch menu, and we're going to click on the corner rectangle box, and we're just going to, pick a work plane to draw on. So in this case, I'm going to click the front plane. Okay, now using that tool, just draw yourself a rectangle. Okay, don't worry about the sizes for now because we're going to put that on in a second. But what you could do is come down here and click this for construction box before you click anything else. Can you see that's turned it into dotted lines? Okay. Click the tick when you're done. Now, if you did accidentally draw two boxes, I'm just going to do that because some of you seem to be click happy. So say you did this and you clicked again and drew another one by accident. Remember to deselect the tool, just press escape, click or drag a box around the box you don't want and press the delete, not backspace, but the delete button on the keyboard. Okay, so if you did do that and mess up, please start again. So I'm just going to delete all of this and start over. So draw a rectangle like that, come over here, choose for construction and click tick. Right, we're now going to put some sizes on this box. This box is going to define how big our wheel is. Now remember, you can zoom in and out by scrolling the mouse wheel. If you zoomed all the way out and you can't see it, you can always click this little zoom to fit or press F. That will bring it back to the middle of your screen. We're going to put dimensions on this box. So go up to the Smart Dimension tool, and I just want you to click on the vertical side. Just click once, let go, move over to the left somewhere, click again. And we're going to make this whole thing, I'm going to go 50, no, let's do 30 tall. Okay, good. And it won't appear to change anything, that's fine. We're going to also put a dimension on this horizontal line, and I'm going to make that 24. Okay, fine. Right, what this box is kind of going to define the size of our wheel, and this should make hopefully the next few steps a little bit easier. Okay, kick the tick. Good. Right, we're going to now draw some geometry. So I want you to go and get the line tool, and starting on the back edge over here at the top corner, so click, come across a little bit, come down a little bit, don't worry about the sizes, come across, come up to the line, come up to that other corner, come down, and I want you to come down further, so you don't want it to line up with here, you want it to be a bit further down than that, come across. If you see what it's doing at the moment, it kind of wants to snap to the middle of there. If you hold Alt on your keyboard, Control, sorry, on your keyboard, I believe it is, it won't do that. Here we go. That's it. If you hold Control. Anyway, what am I talking about? Just ignore me. Just draw it so it's not lined up with any dotted lines, okay? Come down a little bit. My alarm is just going off. Yeah, come down vertically and then come out to this line. Come down here, but stop just short of the red arrow. and come across like this, up a little bit, and I want you to come up past this, so it's higher than it, then change to be a sort of angle, and then come out horizontally up to the edge, and then back up to that top right corner. So if I press escape now, because I'm done with that tool, or press the tick over here, whichever, you should have a grayed outline that looks a bit like that image there. Okay, right, all will be revealed. You're going to be making, by the way, like an alloy wheel. I should have pointed this out earlier. So if I search for something like this, so you've all seen like a wheel on a car. You're going to customize like the patterns and the shapes inside it, but the plan is you guys are going to follow the process to make the basic shape and then customize and design your own wheel and then print it. So anyway, back to SolidWorks. Now, I want to put some more sizes on this so I can be sure everyone's will be the same. So get up to the Smart Dimension tool. Now, I want you to put a dimension between here and here. We do that by clicking and letting go once on there, clicking and letting go on this line, and then moving sideways. And I want you to specify that as being, let's say, 4. Okay, fantastic. I would like you to, with the dimension tool still, click on here. Now, actually, that's wrong. That's not what I wanted. So if you pick the wrong dimension, just press escape. I'm going to zoom in a bit. I want the dimension of this line here, this orange bit. So click. So let's choose the tool again. There we go. Let's make that one 3. No, let's make it 4 actually. Sorry, 4. Hit enter. Okay. I'm going to put a dimension on this bit, and I want you to make that maybe 16. Or no, let's do 18 actually. 18. I'm making this up as I go along. Okay. I want a dimension in this sort of horizontal piece here. So again, if it misselects, just choose the tool again, zoom in a bit further. I want this one to be, shall we say 2? No, 1.5, 1.5. Good. I don't need a dimension here because that's defined for me. I want you to put a dimension on this one. Let's make that one 2.5. Okay. I want a dimension on this one to be probably 2. That looks about right. Click on this one over here and make that one 2. Okay. And I want you to put a dimension between here and here. So let's click on that and then click and release on that. And let's specify that one as a nice round 6. And maybe we'll make that bit there as well. Let's make that 5. Okay. Now, this bit doesn't matter if you want to drag it up a bit higher. I'm quite happy with whatever you do. In fact, actually, no, we will do this. So I want this to be the same height as this line over here. There's a way of doing that. So if you click, so just deselect everything, click on that line, hold Control on your keyboard, and select this line over here, and then choose this tool that says Make Collinear. And you see what that's done? That's kind of linked them together. All right, and if you click on it, you get this little green symbol that means it's now linked linearly to that one on the same axis. Okay, good. Right, that's our basic wheel shape. And you might be thinking that looks nothing like a wheel at the moment. Do not panic. It really will in a minute. Go to Feature up here on the left. And rather than extrude like you're used to, we're going to choose this one called Revolved. And if you're lucky, it will do nothing, which is fine. We're going, well, why isn't it doing anything? Well, look over here. This left window is all about the information it needs. So it wants an axis. It's looking for an axis of revolution. So with that selected, choose the very bottom of your box we drew earlier, okay? Make sure it's the line underneath near the red arrow, not this vertical one, but this horizontal one. Okay, look at what that's done. Somehow, magically, we have a wheel. Now, I want you to understand how that's been achieved. If I go and change this angle to 90 degrees, can you follow what's happened there? That grey shape I drew as a 2D shape has been spun around this pivot 90 degrees. So it's still the same shape, look, but it's like been spun around. Obviously, if I did 180 degrees, I'd have half a wheel. We want a full wheel, so we're going to set it to 360, okay? But just be happy with how you've done that and then click the tick. Good, right. Now is a really good point to save your work. So just click save. If you'd already made a file earlier, like I told you to in your OneDrive, then that is already saved for you. Little reminder here, how to manipulate your view in 3D. Remember, if you click your middle mouse wheel, the scroll wheel, and hold it, you can orbit your view around and you can zoom in and out by scrolling. Remember, if you lose your thing, you can click this zoom to fit, and that will bring it back. Okay, so that's how we're going to zoom around and look at our object. Right, this is a pretty boring wheel. We're going to add some features to it now. So I'm going to start by adding some fillets to make the edges less sharp and smooth, because in real life we don't have these sharp 90-degree corners. So go up to the fillet tool and make sure full preview is selected, and just start by clicking on this inside line here. Now you'll see we get this very big fillet here. Sometimes if the fillet is too large, you won't even draw it. You won't get this yellow outline. Try changing it to 1. Okay, that is about right for that area. And while we're at it, I'm going to make that one over here 1 as well. So I'm going to pick that edge at the same time. Okay, I'm also going to put a fillet on here. And I'm going to put a fillet on that inside edge. So we've got 4 selections, all at 1mm. Happy with that, press the tick. Okay. You can add some fillets elsewhere. Generally, the top edge of the wheel is sharp, like that, so it looks cleaner. It's down to you. You might also want to experiment with chamfers. So again, if you click the drop down and choose chamfer, rather than a curved corner, that will give you like an angled corner. So I'm going to put a chamfer in here. Again, making sure full preview is chosen. Now, my chamfer is so big that it's got done a weird effect. I'm going to change it to 1 because I want my chamfer just sort of near this edge here. Okay, click the tick. If it pops up with any kind of error, it's because the chamfer you've chosen is too big for the geometry that's there. It means it can't physically compute it. So just try changing the number to a smaller dimension and then it should hopefully create it. So this is where you're customizing now. You can put your own chamfer on there, your own fillets, wherever you want them to. When you're happy with that, we're going to move on to making like these cutouts. So use a wheel off the internet for inspiration or just freestyle, I don't really care. I'm going to try and make something like this design. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of big triangles. All right, that's my plan. Nice, simple design. Right, because I'm making a new feature, i.e. a new hole, I need to make a new sketch. So I'm going to right click on this face and choose sketch. And I'm then going to try and draw my triangular feature. Now, I'm going to do this in a mirrored way. I'm going to show you how to do it with mirroring so that you guys can get an understanding of the mirror tool as well. So if we go up here first and draw a center line, and we're going to start from the middle of our circle and just draw a vertical line. All right, we know it's vertical. Can you see that yellow line appears when it's snapping to vertical? Press escape. You just need a line, doesn't really matter. And now what I'm going to do is draw 2 circles. Okay, so I'm going to get the circle tool. I'm going to draw one circle that's slightly bigger than this boss I made. So in fact, I'm going to draw it on the boss. That's fine. And I'm going to draw another circle again from the middle, but I'm going to overlap. I'm going to go I'm going to come up just below my shape. In fact, you know what? No, I'm going to go right up to the edge of the bottom of that chamfer. That's fine. Okay, what I'm going to do now is draw I'm going to make it interesting. So rather than a straight line, I'm going to use a spline line. And I'm actually going to choose style spline. And from one point on this circle, I'm just going to click and draw a kind of curve going up to the next circle. And when I'm happy with it, I just press escape. If you want to modify the curvature, you can drag these little markers, look and change it. And you can actually go and change this later. So I'm going to start with that. And what I want to do now is trim away the unneeded bits of my circle. So I'm going to go to the trim tool. Now the trim tool works by dragging, like slicing through the things you don't want. So I'm going to drag through that line. Can you see what it did? It cut it off at the nearest point. I don't want this bit either. That's actually all you've got to do. I've been left with that, that, and that, and I want to mirror them about this reflection line here. So I'm going to do that now with the mirror tool. And it's saying, tell me the entities you want to mirror. So choose them. It's that line, it's that line, and it's that line. See them adding to the list? Where do I want to mirror them about? So click the mirror about box and choose your construction line. Okay, and click the tick. And you've now got a perfectly mirrored line. Now what's cool about this is it stays mirrored. So if you make changes to the line on the left, it's reflected in the one on the right. Okay, good. Right, I think that's ready to cut through our object now. So in order to make that 3D and cut it, I just need to go to Features and Extruded Cut this time. So we're not adding material, we're cutting it. And you'll see that that at the moment is not quite going all the way through this shape. Look, if you choose this option, Through All, you see it punches through every bit of material on the model. I like to be thorough and choose Through All both, just in case there was some solid material on this side we wanted rid of. That way we can be totally sure that that is going to punch all the way through our wheel. So click the tick, bosh, brilliant. Okay, so I've made one sort of part of my wheel spokes. Now, I'm going to show you how to pattern it now, and then I'm deliberately going to undo that and show you how to pattern with fillets and features as well. We want maybe 3 or 4 more of these. We don't want to draw them all by hand because that's a pain. If you go up to linear pattern, but click the arrow, you'll see there is a circular pattern. And again, it wants something from us. It's highlighted in blue. It wants you to tell it what feature do you want to pattern. Now, it's best selected from the kind of browser up here. If you click the little arrow, and this is all in order that you did it. So the last thing we did was cut that hole, that cut extrude. So just click on that. See, it's added it to the box. Also, it needs a direction. So click in the direction box. And what you need to do here is pick anything round. So it could be like that round bit, it could even be the round bit in the middle of here, which is the one I'm going to choose. Wow, you see what that's done? Now, that is currently trying to make that same shape 8 times. I'm going to change it down to a lesser number. I'm going to change it to 3 and just click somewhere. You see the effect there? Or if I put 4, okay, looking better. We could try 5, but it might start overlapping. Now the problem with 5, if I make 5, we're going to have a really thin bit holding our wheel together. So I'm going to just choose 4 for now, okay, just to illustrate the process. Click the tick. Okay, if it does that, try unticking geometry pattern. Let's try that again. There we go. So if it doesn't compute, just to repeat that, try unticking geometry pattern. Sometimes you have to tick geometry pattern for it to work. I've never quite worked out, but try both combinations. If it doesn't compute, try less of them, or try going back and modifying your original shape because there might be some error with it. So anyway, I'm going to go with 4. Perfect, okay? And now we've got the start of a wheel that looks reasonably strong. Now, you could then start to add to this. Remember, you could put some fillets back in. Say you want to blend that corner in. So you could go fillet, all right, and you could click there, look, and maybe this one because you would want it to match, and probably something a bit more severe than that. So let's try a 10mm fillet. Well, that's too extreme. Let's try 3, maybe 2. Okay, that looks pretty good. Nice, starting to look nicer. We might want to put a fillet in here, look, so we could go fillet on that edge there and kind of blend it into the front of the wheel. All right, excellent. And there are all sorts of other settings in here you can play around with, by the way. All right, you can make it bigger. If I did it 10, see that stretches it out. Okay, I'll leave it down to you. But the point is you can add extra features to your drawing after you've done patterns. You can do that at any point. You can even pattern fillets. So I believe, I'll try this, it'll probably ruin my life now. Rather than have to click on all these buttons, if I do another circular pattern, and this time choose the 2 fillets as my features, and this time choose the direction as anything circular, and I still want 4 of them, I hope if I click the tick, it's thrown up an error. Now let's try geometry pattern. No, it still didn't like it. Let's try that one. No, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Bodies, I don't know. No, I don't know what's going on there. I messed it up. Oh no, that did it. That did it. Okay. So I think what I did was I picked the bodies option to get it to apply it afterwards. Sometimes you've got to play around to find out what works. Okay, if it doesn't work for you, just don't do it that way. Go back, do it the long way. Select all the fillets individually. Anyway, play around with your wheel until you're happy with it. Remember, there's nothing to stop you, putting another sketch somewhere, for instance, drawing another cutout through here, adding extra holes or changing the pattern. You can always go back as well and change your shape. So if I was to go back in time to cut extrude 1, open it, here's my sketch, and edit that sketch. Say I wanted to make this a bit narrower, bring this in a bit tighter, okay? Maybe tweak that a bit more as well. Okay, and click here to return. I can do that. And actually now I could probably have fitted 5 of those in, so I could go and edit my pattern. If I right click and edit the feature of the pattern, change it to 5, that may throw up an error, we'll find out. Oh God, what happened there? Did I type 50? No, 5 of them. Good. Now I may have to delete these fillets. So sometimes making things has a knock-on effect. There we go. So what I did there, I just deleted everything after the point that it had gone wrong. But the point is I've now gone from 4 to 5 spokes, and I've done it by going back and altering and changing my drawing. Okay, so play around until you're happy with your wheel design. All I want from you when you're finished is to change the appearance. So you could do that under here, edit appearance. You can go to texture, and then under metals, you've got like chrome and bronze and gold and all sorts of, do whatever you want. You could have gold, polished gold, right? Fancy wheel. You could do chrome. So, all right, shiny, whatever you want to do. I don't really care. Remember, you can color individual faces as well. So say you wanted the inside of your rim painted black, you could right click that, go to appearances of the face, because it's just that part. Change that, just that part to black, for instance. And then you can copy and paste that to other pieces. So you could go like copy appearance, and then you could pick a face, hold control and select the others, and then right click, paste appearance. There we go. So I've got like a chrome wheel with like a black insert. Looks like a kind of old school Volkswagen wheel, if you know what I'm talking about, for those of you who like cars and stuff. So anyway, great. Once you've done it, make sure you've turned on real view graphics and shadows like I have here, and then Windows Shift S, snip a picture, put it in your OneNote as evidence, and make sure you save your file, because next lesson we will be 3D printing these, and we'll also be designing a tire to fit over them that we're going to print in flexible filament. Okay, good.